Maar net te veel lig, hè?
Maar dit is
Huh?
ja, te veel lig. Hier is donker weer.
Nee, dat lijkt alsof het de braadsteen om te halen. Kijk nou.
Jy moet maar kom kyk.
Ja, ek dink op daai emerald wees.
Sê jy wat van die is nog steeds te lig vir jou.
Alles op die lig.
Hulle. Jy gaan die tyd hou.
It's 11:54. So,
Wat my iemand moet kry. Tools. Clock. Jy gaan 23:55. Dit is 'n alarm aan sit. Nou.
Ek het net in.
Alright. Sê. Kyk, hy is gestel. Ons het ook nie meer. $57. Kyk, so die reg die klok is gestel. Kyk iemand ooit? Ja, een ou kyk, is seker nie wel.
Probably.
Hmm.
Is that you, Llewellyn, watching?
Ja, nou moet ons maar die champagne bietjie bewerk.
Wow. Two minutes.
Ja, What a year.
Tell me about it.
But you know what? We survived.
Yeah. We'll probably survive the next one too. It would just be
Yeah.
nicer if it could be a bit better.
It's like I said to you. It's what you make of it.
I suppose.
You're responsible for how your year went. Some people had a bad year because they didn't do the right things, or they didn't enjoy it, or they didn't see change as a new opportunity.
True.
Then there were other people that enjoyed the lockdown by stretching their wings and discovering their entrepreneurs and their salesmen and their business people. So people lost their jobs and became crybabies. Other people lost their jobs and became businessmen and women.
True. No, that's true. I think there's quite a bit of businesses there that actually expanded their businesses by going online.
Yeah, sometimes life forces you to make certain decisions.
Unfortunately.
You just have to embrace it. I mean, not all change are bad. Most changing stuff is good for you. And you discover more about yourself. So.
Yeah, well, you're either a survivor or you will go and sit in the corner and cry about it. And there we go.
Happy New Year. We're now in 2021.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
Before we copyright it, let's stop this. Oh, he's still playing. Cool.
Here we go.
Okay, now for the nice stuff.
Okay.
Lucky the neighbors aren't home. I don't be awake right now.
Oh, thinking you
Okay,
shot
go
me.
first. Ladies first.
Oh, just listen to all those crackers going.
Yeah.
Fireworks. Luckily, we live on a plot or farmish place outside of Nelspruit, and if it sounds like this on the plots, I don't want to know what it sounds like in town.
We should save the fireworks for the first parliamentary session. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We're starting again.
It will be more appreciated than the dogs do this side, I think. And it would give more satisfying effects, I think. But anyway.
Okay. There we go. And to an awesome new year and year 6 for us.
Who's counting?
Oh, believe you me, there's people counting.
all the cats' secret boyfriends and fans and stalkers, like my dad.
Yes, yeah. And there's people out there that would love to see us fail. To you guys, keep watching.
Yeah. Champagne, this isn't actually champagne. I mean, JC Leroux is like a soda wine. Or like we call it in Afrikaans as vonkelwyn.
Yeah, it's called a sparkling wine.
Yeah, it's a sparkling wine.
So,
yeah. So
we can't afford real champagne. That stuff is very expensive.
But then you taste the real champagne. It's
good. You know what? Yeah. Although I must say there is some quite expensive so-called champagnes on the market. If you remember when we did the wine tasting shows. Oh man, I'm telling you, there was golden bottles with real gold flakes or stuff inside. Those things are nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to drink, nice to have, experience it. That's what life's all about, experience everything.
That's why you go to the wine shows and you pay minimal to experience what you can't afford.
Yeah, because today I see it on my Facebook. Yesterday I did my shark cage diving without the cage.
True, yes, you did, eh? Oh, the poor dogs, just listen to them barking.
And it's a life-changing experience to swim with sharks
Mm.
in the same water. No cage. Facing your fears. Surviving it without a chunk out of you.
Not that I think that was a fear of yours. It was just a bucket list experience you would have liked. Well,
look, it wasn't a fear when you were in a cage, but when you're actually in the water with them.
I can imagine.
That's another thing.
I wouldn't even get on the boat, never mind into the water. No. I think my fear for water is worse than my fear for a shark.
If you face something like that, I mean, not some policeman that's going to make me afraid of him, or a president that's actually should be looking after his cattle instead of running a country, or any person that threatens you or threatens your way of life. I mean, if you jump into water with a bunch of sharks, what's after that?
Skydiving.
If you face all these fears and you see people threatening you and say, I'm going to fire you if you don't listen to me, or I'm going to fire you because I don't like you, stuff like that. It's not they like little mice or ants. But I actually like champagne or vonkelwyn. Ek hou van vonkelwyn.
Ja, ek kan hom gelukkig nie vinnig drink nie.
Nooit?
Nee, al hierdie bubbles. Nee.
Are you gonna drown in the bubbles?
Probably.
But it's up to us to make 2021 a good year. The governments aren't cooperating worldwide. So we have to decide what we're going to do about that.
Well, we can't do anything about them, but we can do something about our attitude towards them. It's not going to help bitching and moaning about it, and we can't do anything about it physically at this stage, not alone. We need an army to actually do that.
Yeah, but people need to wake up, but it's not always wise to fight. Now, sometimes you have to fight the system from inside. Join the club, and then you can you get behind the modus operandi, stuff like that. And when you're inside, you can do more than we are outside fighting. You can be inside and fighting also, if you think about that.
Yeah, no, I assume so, but you know what? We can talk and we can moan and we can shout about it as much as we like. One or two of us is not going to make a change. So that's why I say it's the way you think about it and the way you act.
I actually just don't give a rat's ass about all these rules and regulations and stuff.
But then again,
ek het jou glas gebreek.
That's okay, dit was net tydelik anyway.
Of nee, hy is heeltemal gebreek.
No,
Hy is 'n bietjie los.
It will go loose. It's been there for what, a month?
Now look at the beautiful glass.
Yeah, I did some renovating on the glasses, but it's not permanent because I don't want to keep these glasses permanently looking like this. I'd like to change them again.
Personally, I think the whole mask wearing thing is to lose your identity. It's not working actually. It's to lose your identity because we all experience it. Nobody recognizes anybody, or very few people recognize you on the streets, and it's like you become anonymous and stuff like that. And then doing all these regulations over these times that should be meaningful, joyful, and everybody having fun. And now the governments decide, no, listen, this little virus is more important than the morale of a nation or the economy of a nation or the world. And it looks like COVID and these regulations are made for sabotaging the economy. And they start with the entertainment, the tourism. Somebody said to me, it's not true, but 80% of employment in a country and economy is tourism driven.
But then again, what economy in South Africa do they want to corrupt? It's already been corrupted for the past
but
24 years.
They try to destroy it. It's not about South Africa. It's about the worldwide economy. Worldwide, 80% of employment and income in economies are tourism related. So tourism is a big money maker. Hotels, restaurants, all these vacations and stuff. And if you look at it, they try to constrict your movements and try to hurt the economy through tourism first, and thereafter they're gonna take the entertainment industry. I mean, Hollywood has got they're in trouble. As liberal as they are, I mean, with all their money, you can't stop making movies. A big place like Universal Studios have got costs, and they've got projects that they put money in, they have to get that money back. So, and all these actors, I mean, they bought mansions and helicopters and alligators, and they got a string of girlfriends and boyfriends, and they have to finance. Those things cost money. No matter how much money you have, you're gonna feel it. And they can be behind the liberal movement and all Biden. I mean, if you want the idiot to be president, just come to Africa. We've got plenty. So why do they choose that bumbling idiot? I don't know. I mean, if any, I don't think Americans are so dumb that they would vote for that idiot.
Well, it's precisely that's the reason why, so that he's manageable. It's like putting a robot in charge.
Look, that thing isn't
and
manageable.
Programming him the way you want him.
Hy is wat ons in Suid-Afrikaans fucking skelm noem. Nee, hy lyk ook so. Hy is 'n fucking pastoor wat in jou karretraai verkoop nie. Hy is 'n skelmboer. Jy kan sommer sien. That son of his, that isn't that stuff he does. Daddy is behind it. And Daddy learned him to do that stuff. Taught him to do that stuff. No, but we shouldn't talk about American politics.
We shouldn't talk about politics whatsoever.
Yeah, but we like champagne.
Yeah, and champagne does not like us.
Why not?
Or me.
Why not?
Nah. It's never been a good idea.
Are you going to have a bubble us?
No. But I might dance on the table.
That's not a bad thing.
Not if you're going to put it on YouTube.
No, you see the red button under there that says End Live.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Humans tend to like to put things into times and years and days and stuff like that. But actually, it's a good thing to say, listen, it's a year that's ended, it's a new year that started. So actually, it's new opportunities, it's new resolutions. But I've sensed that especially this Christmas and especially New Year, the spirit isn't there.
No.
Because I think the governments have broken the spirit because of all this.
Well, if that was their aim, they got it right.
Yeah,
Because I've seen it on Facebook. So many people actually posted that they just don't feel the Christmas vibe that are like it used to be.
Looking, we're entering a new world that's been created. The one we're living in is created by capitalism and driven by the need to have stuff. So we are entering a new era and a new way of thinking. If you can't adapt to that, then you've got problems. And the people who usually fight the most against stuff like this is those that are at least adaptable to that.
No, basically, if you look at all these horror movies and so all these natural disaster movies and so on, the people that survive are the people that can adapt.
That's why the dinosaurs didn't survive, because they couldn't adapt. But little animals, like they survived.
No.
Because they could adapt to it. Nature is actually the most wonderful adapter it is. And it's actually in human nature to adapt. It's just you copy your rondneet. And it's a tradition and all those stuff. It's not healthy. It works against change and works against being able to adapt. It puts you in a certain mindset and a certain way of thinking. Think about that. And we tend to forget what happened in the past, because you have to use that as an example and as a reference. Like, I mean, we talked about it the other day. Children were when the voortrekkers came up at 11, 12, the boys could go to war, and they have to start looking at going out on their own, start working, beginning farms, and the daughters were starting. They were arranged marriages at 11 upwards. If she was able to bear children, that was the thing. Nowadays, that's frowned upon. I mean, personally, I think that's too young. I mean,
yeah, obviously for today's kids, but if you look at it this way as well, those years, children were brought up in a different way than our kids are being brought up. Completely. They were more emotionally mature than what our kids are. I mean, a girl at 11 in those years, you cannot even compare with a girl at 16, 17 now. It's not comparable. So yes, they could start raising a family because they were
they had the
mature
skills
enough.
for that.
They were brought up with skills.
Today you get a 21-year-old girl, she can't cook, she can't clean. She's only a very, very skilled in taking selfies and ordering Starbucks. So they've got nothing to offer the guys except the one thing the guys want. And then they are very, very angry when that happens, and they think, why are they always using me for sex? But I mean, what do you offer except that?
Why do you allow it anyway?
Yeah, and
So,
if you allow that, and if you realize, listen, that's my only skill, you can just as well
yeah, you might as
go
well.
and work at a brothel.
Mm.
I mean, then you make real money out of it. But
Yeah.
if you are not developing yourself or bettering yourself or learning skills or that you can use in your adult life to be successful, you're gonna be used, abused, and you're gonna be poor and underprivileged. They call it stuff like that. I'm always learning, uh, and I'm always adapting, and I'm always getting new skills and changing my
Approach.
my mind and attitude and way of thinking to better myself. And if you can do that through your life, I mean, I'm 51 and I'm still dreaming.
You're never too old to learn. There is such a saying.
Yeah.
And I mean, so do I. I still learn every day, and I'm older than him. So, you're definitely never too old to learn new tricks, new skills, new mindsets. You're never too old to change that either. So even if you were brought up in the 60s and 70s and so on, it doesn't mean you cannot change. It all depends on what you as a person want to do. Just remember, the choices you make is the choices you make. Not that somebody else makes for you.
No, I love the saying. You're free to make your own choices, but you're not excluded from the consequences of your choices. I mean, you have to accept the responsibility of the choices you made, and you actually have to accept the consequences and handle it. I mean, you can't go out drinking and think you're going to be still have a lot of money in your bank account when you get home, or your car's still going to be
in one piece,
or your girlfriend or boyfriend's still going to be with you if you get drunk and you go home with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. So, Happy New Year from Max Fury.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you too.
Happy New Year to you.
Here we go.
I hope you have some champagne or Funkelwein, sparkling wine.
Oh, Brandon.
No, okay, Brandon.
Okay. Welcome, Brandon. Happy New Year to you.
Jy mag goeie drukkie, boetie.
Hoekom is jy nog wakker? Cyril het gesê 9 uur, nee?
Nee, Sally.
Wow, ja. Sally. Okay, wie even hulle lekker vir almal eers.
Ja, ons onthou, ja. Dus ek moet vir jou sê, jy kan nog nie drinkie, boetie.
Ek dink hy's amper legal.
No, he's about nice and Karoo size.
Hoe oud is jy, Brandon?
Nee, hy is nou 16.
Sy God. Nee, is reg, ons stem saam met jou, hoor.
Wat?
Sally se gat.
Ja, Sally se gat.
16. Daar's
hy.
Ja, is amper groot.
Ja, nee. Nee, as dit van my afgehang het, was Sally nou wat hy vullis dromme skoon gemaak en ek moer man. Hy verstaan reg van die Afrikaans tot jy nie oor klap.
You wanna bet hy translators.
Ja.
Ja, wat. Maar nou ja, Brandon, ons hoop jy het ook 'n awesome nuwe jaar. En vir almal van julle wat vir ons koekeloer en niks sê nie, ons hoop dieselfde vir julle ook. Ons gaan probeer om so 'n paar dinge vir julle te doen wat dit gaan interessant maak op ons YouTube channel, soos onder andere ons spookejag wat ons beplan. Some ghost hunting. Saam met 'n professionele ghost hunting span wat ons gekontak het
Ja, paranormal investigators.
en spesiaal afkom Nelspruit toe om saam met ons
Ja.
'n dokumentêr, kan jy maar sê, te
Ja.
doen. En ons begin in Barberton se begrafplaas, dink ek het hulle gesê. Ja.
The graveyard's a bit of a problem because it's not a ghost. It's a problem. Well, I'm not afraid of the ghost, but they got a whole gang of criminals lurking in the Barberton graveyard, robbing people and
Ja.
stuff. I mean, really. So yeah, I've got. If I go alone, that wouldn't be a problem, except for the police. If they don't like vigilantes kicking criminals' asses. But I've got people with me, and they've got equipment and stuff. And sometimes these criminals have guns.
Unfortunately, yes. Otherwise, I would have loved to get him in action on YouTube. That would have been awesome.
It's not allowed. It's violence.
I don't care. It's a skill.
Yeah, but it's not always fun and games for them. It's for me, but
Yeah, no. I still need to see that.
I
don't know if you guys saw that on our YouTube channel. That was teaching my son some defense tricks so that he can defend himself against bullies and almost muggers who got him here in Nelspruit trying to take his money off him, and he got the biggest fright of his life. So yes, he's got the skills. So I would love to see it in action.
Yeah, I love muggers, but they usually see I'm too excited if they try to mug me, and they leave me alone. It's happened twice to me in the past where I saw the mugger coming, and then I got ready for him, and I started getting really excited, and then they just turn around and walk away. Because then I realized, listen, this is not the usual prey we used to. It's gonna be get ugly here. But yeah.
Okay, what did you teach yourself, Brandon? Did you look at YouTube videos or what? Because I see he says that he taught himself some self-defense.
No. Look, the first thing of self-defense is awareness and not getting into the fight. That's the first thing. You mustn't get into dangerous situations. So you have to be aware. To fight is easy. To avoid a fight and keep yourself safe, that's the main trick. I did martial arts for 11 years. I usually avoid fights by just smiling at the guy when he gets aggressive, and then they just turn around to walk away. So
yeah, but you've got this. I can't explain that smile he gets. You know, it's almost like what's that guy?
Steven Seagal.
No. That other one you like that I'm not very fond of.
Chuck Norris.
That's that one.
Yeah. Oh, Chuck.
He gets that look on his face that says, "Ek gaan jou gat skop." So kom boetie. And I think that's what makes them run, is that smile.
But it's good, Brandon, to learn some stuff and learn yourself out. Most I didn't really learn martial arts in the dojo or in the class. I took out books and I studied books of Bruce Lee and stuff like that, and I took out SAS survival guides, and I studied with, when I was in the army, it was a very interesting time because when you do sport in the army, you are put, if you do martial arts, doesn't matter if it's karate, kung fu, ninjutsu, aikido, doesn't matter, you're put in the same class and you're in the same group, and you say go practice your art, and then you get involved with all these guys, and martial artists have this code that they always share. Nobody's the big kahuna on the block
Yeah.
everybody knows he can learn from the other one.
Okay, I see. Sorry, Brandon says good night. So good night, Brandon. Enjoy your new year and lucky slots here.
So I learned some kung fu and moves and some and ninjutsu and stuff like that. And there's different karate styles. I mean, the martial arts is a huge world full of different styles and stuff. And you're not always looking down at the other guy. Actually, you don't look down at the other guy because maybe he's just better than you and he can kick your ass. So you learn from him instead of dissing his style or his martial art, because there's always something to learn from another martial art. I mean, you know what other martial arts weaknesses are, and so you know how to handle such a person if you ever confront them in street combat or something like boxers. Yeah, they have certain weaknesses that I know of. I mean, wrestlers are easy. You just have to keep away from them and
don't let him grab you.
Yeah.
Get you in a
if they grab you, there's enough martial arts techniques that can put a wrestler out of commission or make wrestling actually useless. I've fought in street fights SA wrestler champ 3 times because he didn't get the message. So and he lost all 3 times. One time we arrested him for drunk driving. That's when he got real aggressive. So I was a police reservist. So,
and probably a thorn on his side. So
yeah, look, sometimes you just have to realize, listen, I got my ass kicked. I should accept it. It's not going to happen. If I lost the first time and the second time, it's not going to work the third time. I mean, then you're just being idiot and stubborn. Yeah.
No, look, I don't want to be ugly or whatever, but I don't like wrestling, number one. And number two, I think it's a bully sport because they get you down and they get you into a grip and that's it. They try to immobilize you. There's no point to wrestling.
The only wrestling I like is with a beautiful girl. Ek's twee lekker. Fine.
Yeah, I do know.
But you must have an awesome 2021.
Yes.
You would like some like interaction with our viewers. So if you have something interesting to tell us or show us, send it.
Yeah.
And if you have any Batman or Catwoman stuff that's lying around that you don't want anymore, you can send it to us. We'll use it in our videos. And we're actually looking for stuff for making real cosplay costumes.
Awesome costumes. Yeah, we basically want to take part in the next Comic-Con cosplay. And to assemble a costume costs thousands of rands.
Look, we've found out prices. And
it's expensive.
You're looking at between 20 and 30,000. 5,000,
if not
rand.
more. There was one.
And that's just the costume, is not the accessories. Even
you're
looking at. I would give a ballpark figure. If we really got into my costume, if I had to buy and order stuff, it will cost me between 40 and 50,000. Your costume would be less.
Yeah, mine is much less because
it will be between 20 and 25. But I mean, a latex. You don't get latex products, suits anymore in South Africa.
No, you have to order it online. Look, that's not that expensive.
And through the what do you call it? BDSM websites. You can get it from them.
but those costumes you cannot wear in public.
Yeah.
They're not. No, they're not user friendly. Not in that way.
Yeah.
No. His costume is the most expensive because I've looked on the internet for the costume that we're actually looking for him, and it's in the ballpark of 35,000 rand if you work it back from dollars. Mine with all the trimmings and so on will probably in the vicinity of 3,000. That's max. Mine is not that expensive.
Oh.
I can get the latex suit online for between 500 and 1,000 rand.
From Wish.com.
No, Wish is even cheaper. Wish is only 200 bucks.
But you don't know the quality that you
The
get.
quality and when are you going to get it? That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because I've bought a lot from Wish so far, but where it comes to clothing, I've received one thing, and that was that T-shirt for you.
Yeah.
And that took about 6 months to get here, if it
Yeah.
wasn't more. And in between, I have ordered an evening dress, which I
Yeah.
still haven't got. And but I must say the rings and the watches and so on, they arrive in okay time. You do receive them eventually, but the clothing I haven't received yet. So that's quite a worry for me. So I'm not going to spend a lot of money on costumes on Wish and hope it gets here. So if you guys can help us with some accessories or whatever you've got lying around, I like to modify clothing. So whatever you send us, I can use.
Yeah. Look, the champagne is finished.
And you look like you're getting hot.
Yeah, because Nelspruit is near to the hell. And it's
Yes.
warm here, and under this mask, I'm sweating. So.
I can see that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even me. But anyway, you guys must have an awesome new year.
Yeah.
All of the best and keep us posted.
Right. Have a nice 2021. This is the first day. Let's make it a good one.
Yes.
This is the bat signing out.
And the cat signing out. So it was only Brendan and Luella nog communicated.
Ja.